and all of that has been
Yeah,
keeping her from participating. It happens here and now.
yeah, true. Hmm.
Let me inform them. Class is on. Okay. So if you have your paper with you, I'd like to know, some of the things we've talked about. If you can recall some of them,
Okay. On
especially
that
for this
day, yes, especially for
this month,
continue, please.
the second month.
Okay. What we talked about last was on how to design a wonderful TED talk. I won't say it in your words exactly, but and I remember you said TED means technology, entertainment, design,
Yeah.
and you said a TED talk has to. It usually lasts for. It's not more than 18 minutes.
Yeah.
It's usually um one idea, a single idea or something.
Single idea.
Usually
Yes.
idea. You said it's
Okay, I was
you
actually
said
looking
it
for
should
the
be short and
title.
compelling.
Yeah, short and compelling. True.
It was thought, yeah, short and compelling. No, you were saying you said how to prepare a TED talk, a TED presentation, right? That was
Yes,
it.
presentation style.
It
Yeah.
okay, okay. Um, what else?
So, what is the topic before that topic? Can you remember?
Okay. Now I will look at my book now.
Okay. Oh, you weren't looking at your book
uh,
before.
yes, you sent us the slide, and I didn't really last week. The network was so bad, so I couldn't really jot down anything.
Okay.
Hold on, coach. Open the door for her. Open the. Um. Last time you told us to um write down topics that we could have make presentations on 10 10 topics that we could make presentations on that would that only had uh I'm trying to get the topic. What was the topic of last week? Okay. Let's see. So sorry, coach. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Yeah, it was about opening and closing a speech now. Yes. It was
Okay.
about how to close a speech, how to close a speech. It was about yeah, how to open and close a speech. Okay, that was on 14th of July.
Okay.
How to open and close a speech then.
Okay. Today's class, anyway. Let me see. Mrs. Do just chatted me up.
Master, what's the
I think she'll
master?
be joining soon. So we'll just talk about today's class, which is how to deliver impromptu presentations. I don't know if today is the, what is today like? Is it the third week or fourth week in the second month?
Today's the
And she meet him
okay.
I
You
think
mean
today is the fourth
since we
week.
started the class? Since we
Yeah,
started the
for the
class, is that
second
what you
month.
mean?
For the second month. We're in the second month. Or are we in the third month?
Mm-mm. No, at least I only started last month. I started in July.
Okay. No, no, no. We are in the third month. Because I remember you renewed your membership for the month. Hello, ma. Good
Yes,
afternoon.
yes.
Hello, good afternoon. So I think we've entered the third month.
No, I think we're in the second.
Are we
I
still,
think
Mrs.
yeah,
Ido? We're
the
trying to
second.
figure out if we're still
And
in
the,
the second month or we are entering the third month. Do you know which month we are into? Hello? Hello? Yes. Have we entered, are we in the third month or the second month? Hello? Yes, in the classes we are taking. In the classes we are taking, is this the second?
second month.
Okay, second month, maybe the last week of the second month.
No,
The
it
fourth
can't be
week.
the last week. It can't be the last week.
It should be. Let me see. Third week, I think it should be the fourth week.
Let me just check my record
I think it should be
notes.
because we've done
I
how
always
to
find
open
it.
and close a speech. We've done how to prepare and deliver a presentation, a world class presentation. We've done idea building. These are 3 classes we've done. And these 3 classes are second month. Am I right?
Idea building.
We've done idea building. We've done how to
No.
prepare and deliver world-class presentation. We've done how to open and close a speech.
Ah, somebody's background is so noisy.
I'm going to mute it now. So today we're going to go into the 4th lecture of the second month, which is how to deliver impromptu presentation. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay, great, great. How to deliver an impromptu presentation or speech. That is what we want to look at briefly. I'm going to show you what you need to do when you are not prepared, when you're invited to speak in the spur of the moment, and you really have to deliver a presentation without prior preparation. What should you do? How should you go about it? What needs to be in place? And all of that. That's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
Impromptu speaking is a speech that a person delivers without predetermination or preparation. So that means nobody informed you about the speech before the speech. You just came in and you were asked to speak or deliver a presentation. I'll give you some scenarios that you might be familiar with. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. Here you are asked to speak in a friend's birthday. Of course, you were not informed that you were going to be invited to speak in a friend's birthday. Here you are introducing yourself
Yes.
at networking events. You just came to a networking event. The next thing they started doing, talk to your neighbor or discuss with the person sitting behind you or before you, you know. And sometimes
Yeah.
you fill in for a late speaker. Let's say somebody's invited to come and speak in your organization, but the person comes late. And then the host turns to you and say, hey, please can you fill in for our speaker? Sometimes it could even be a friend that is invited to a place, but she could not make it. And she said, please, can you help and fill in for me because I'm not going to be available in that meeting. And then sometimes you're asked to give a toast at a company. And there is a time to give a toast. And you were asked to give a toast in that company party.
Mm.
Are we together?
Yes, but the network has started misbehaving
And then
again.
sometimes you are asked to, oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
Sometimes you get asked a question you did not prepare for while on a panel. So sometimes you go for all these panel debates or panel discussions, and then somebody asks you questions that you just did not prepare for, questions that are outside, the scope of what you thought you were there to cover. And then those kind of situations that you didn't prepare for, some people it catches them unaware, some people know just what to do. And then job interview questions most times are impromptu, depending, but sometimes you really can't tell the questions they'll ask you in the job interview, so you just have to prepare yourself with the little information that you have. But there is no saying how much questions or how much grinding you're going to get right there inside the room.
Mm.
You are interviewed by a reporter. So a reporter comes in and says, "Hello, my name is Susan Superson from this radio station. We just want to hear what your opinion is regarding this or that." Such interviews, sometimes you did not prepare for it, they did not send you a script for you to go through and get yourself ready. So it is impromptu. And then sometimes you are asked to say a goodbye speech to a departing employee. An employee of your organization wants to depart, wants to leave. Now you don't know um, what to do. Should I, how can I prepare myself to say goodbye to this wonderful employee or even a terrible one that wants to leave our organization? And then sometimes it's your colleague that refers to you in the middle of a presentation for your input. So let's say your company is having a meeting, a workshop, or something, and then all of a sudden somebody points at you and says, "Hey, so you know what happened? What can you say with regard to that?" Without preparation, you have to think of what to say, and you have to think of it in the spur of the moment, and you have to deliver. So one of the first few steps to delivering impromptu speech, I want you to take note of this. One of the first few steps to delivering impromptu speech is to not overthink it. Okay, I want to give you some foundational information. First, don't overthink it. I've noticed that the reason why some people don't perform well when it comes to impromptu speech is because they tend to overthink the entire thing. If you are asked to come and speak, don't overthink it. The person that invited you, the person that called you up to speak, the person that invited you to speak impromptu understands that it is in the spur of the moment. So they often don't expect you to deliver some very huge value per se. Impromptu speeches are just people calling you out at a moment or at a time that you are not prepared, you were never informed. So they too understand the situation. Do not freak, do not get overly concerned, do not start thinking, oh, what can I say? What can I do? What if they are not impressed? What do they want me to talk about? Don't worry yourself so much about these things. And then try to understand what you are asked to do. Are you asked to give a toast? Are you asked to give a summary? Are you asked to share your thoughts regarding something? Are you asked to submit a report? I think one of the most dangerous things for most speakers is that they rarely pay attention, they rarely listen. Because when you listen, the person who is giving you the opportunity to speak will definitely give you some sort of direction. They could say, come and give a farewell speech, or come and share your thoughts with regard to what is happening, or come and tell us what you think about this or about that. So you've got to listen so that you get the point before you open your mouth. You've got to listen so that you get what you're asked to do before you start speaking. And always be prepared. One of the things I told our students and I keep on saying is, as a speaker, you don't wait to have speaking engagements before you prepare yourself. Instead, you prepare yourself every day, uh, pending when you're going to have a speaking invitation. So, for those of you who are listening to me, you should by now be preparing yourself. If you're going to events, you ask yourself, what if I'm asked a question in this event? What can I talk about if I'm given the mic? What should I observe? What should I really notice? What needs to be talked about? What is bothering me regarding the theme of this particular meeting? So don't wait to get speaking invitation before you start preparing yourself. Instead, prepare yourself. Um, be ready to speak, read books, learn, take classes. As you're taking them, they are equipping you with information that could be relevant to you in the spur of the moment. Every information is necessary, every information is good, especially when you know how to relate information to the happenings around you. So read the news, pay attention, get the information because you never can tell where it will be needed. So this is what you should do when you're asked to speak impromptu. The first framework I'm going to be sharing with you is called the FAT framework. The FAT framework, FAT framework for delivering impromptu speeches. The FAT frameworks are basically the type of framework you use when you are asked to speak in the spur of the moment without any preparation, without any prior information. Use the FAT framework. The F stands for feeling. So basically, you start by talking about how you feel. So if you invite me to an occasion without prior information and you expect me to say something, I will begin by expressing my feeling. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I feel so excited to be here today. I feel so disappointed about what is happening around here today. Simply
Coach, the network is bad. Network bad.
hello, can you hear me now?
A little. It's still
Okay.
fluctuating.
Okay, I think it will be fixed soon. Are we together
Yes.
now?
Yes, I can hear you better now.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So start by expressing your feelings. Start by saying something like, I feel so happy to be here, or I feel so sad with what is happening. Just talk about your feeling. Then give an anecdote. An anecdote is a relevant but short story. So give a very short story that supports the expression of your feeling. So if I say something like, I feel so happy to be here, the next thing I'm going to do is to tell a story. You see, in 2019, the first time we started this kind of meeting, it was a very difficult experience for most of us. But look how far we've gone today. Look where we are today. We can only be grateful to God. What I've just done is actually a speech. I've expressed my feeling and I've shared a relevant or brief short story. And then the next thing I'm going to do is the I'm going to tie back the conversation to the expression of my feeling or the topic. Depending on what the occasion is and what I'm asked to do, I'm going to tie it all back to the topic or to the feeling
Topic.
or to the theme of the program. Are we together?
Yes.
So I would have loved us to try this because this is actually a very simplified way to talk about anything in the spur of the moment. So, Mrs. Chinye,
Hmm.
in the spur of the moment, You are asked to come and talk about Nigeria.
Coach, you want the ground to open up, Abby?
It won't open up. It won't open up. The format is right there in front of you. Just apply it. It works. Are you still there?
I am. I'm very much here. Coach, it
You're
takes
very much.
practicing. It takes practicing to be
That's
able
why I'm
to
asking you
deliver
to
an impromptu.
practice.
No, not
That's why I'm
not
asking
not
you to
now.
practice.
No, not
Why
now,
not
Coach.
now? Why not now?
Mm.
Are you still there?
I'm still here, Coach. I'm very much here.
Good, good. It's good you're very much here. So, talk about Nigeria using the FAT format.
Okay. I'm trying to think of the story to share about Nigeria. What
But the
specific
first
story?
thing to do is to talk about your thoughts, how you're feeling. That's the first thing from what we are seeing on the screen. The first thing is how you feel. Start with how you feel. Then use a creative story. It doesn't have to be a real story. You just get creative with it. Let's go.
Should I start by greeting, or I should just go along with the format you've given?
Whichever one you want. Whichever one you want. But greeting, of course, because you have to greet the people.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good
I'm
evening.
elated to be standing before you all. Um,
The topic is Nigeria. So the
okay.
topic is Nigeria. You're asked to talk about Nigeria. I talked about listening. So you listen to me. You know I asked you to talk about Nigeria. So if you are elated, it has to be connected to Nigeria. If you're not elated, it has to be connected to
Okay.
Nigeria. So whatever you're talking about is your
Oh,
feeling
okay.
with
Yeah.
regard to the subject matter.
With regard to the subject matter, okay.
Yes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
It's 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 quite depressing. It's quite depressing on all the issues that have come up in the past months have been quite depressing, especially the issue on the pandemic. This pandemic has taken up has ravaged the whole world, taking so many people's lives. Um, I'm not good with this, coach. I'm not good. I'm not good with this, coach. Please just pardon me for today. If you do this another time, I'll get it right.
Okay. Are we together now?
Yes, yes, yes. Is Mrs. Udowu
So
there? Maybe she should take a shot.
look at what I asked you to do. It's actually very simple. You just have to allow yourself to try it and fail. First, you express your feeling. So I am happy with what is happening in Nigeria today, or I am so sad and disappointed with what is happening in Nigeria today. After then, the next thing would be the anecdotes, which is a story. Now, since you're talking about what is happening in Nigeria today, you might have to come up with a story. Now, since this is a class, like I've said, and I keep on saying, you can create things. You just have to imagine them because you are in a class. So you don't have to wait for reality or something. You can just use your imagination for the time being. So yes, I am.
It started breaking again.
Network is working. Okay, let's see if it's going to stop. Can you hear me?
It started breaking. No. It's breaking.
It's working. Yeah, I heard that. Can you hear me now? Are we together now?
Yes, yes, we are, but it's still breaking.
Still breaking. Okay, so you tell a story which can be a fictional story if you're in class, but in person, of course, you might have a story that connects to what you're doing or what you're asked to talk about, and then you tie back the story or you tie back the discussion to the topic that was given to you, which in this case is what can you say about Nigeria? It doesn't really matter the topic. You can always talk about your feelings, unless it's a topic that you don't know anything about, you have no feeling for, which rarely do people ask you to talk about those things. And even if they do, you can simply tell them that, I really don't have any interest um, to things like this. And I really wish the people who are interested in such things, I really wish them well, but this is not the area of my interest. I would rather focus on, you not tell them the area you want to focus on. So let's say, for instance, I'm contesting for a position.
Coach is breaking. It's breaking. It's breaking.
Seriously breaking. Oh, breaking terribly. That's too serious.
It just comes, okay, like now you're clear. What you last said, I heard it, but sometimes it just goes bad.
Okay, I think I'll send you recording on Telegram. Network is disturbing this much. I can really go now.
What did you say? I didn't hear that.
This is still low, and this is very convenient. Or should I use Telegram?
Telegram.
It's breaking. What are
One other thing, they made,
Let's
we
move to
should
Telegram.
not be using the charger,
Let's move
exchanging
to
the charger.
Telegram.